Hi, my name is Zach Schiller. Today I will be talking about the digital multimeter made by Fluke. The Fluke digital multimeter is an electrical device that can test, measure, and check resistance, voltage, and amperage in AC and DC circuits. There are many different styles of Fluke multimeters, but today I will be talking about the Fluke 179. The Fluke 179 is just one of their models that can measure voltage, amperage, and resistance like many others, but it can also measure voltage up to 600 volts and 1000 volts, and also can go to millivolts, amperage, and milliamps. Since you have a wide variety of things that you can measure like volts, amperage, and resistance, it makes it a very useful tool in the electrical field or any maintenance field. You can use to troubleshoot machines to check shorts or low voltage drops or even high current draw that can make machines act funny. These devices are typically ranging in price from $100 all the way up to $900. That is quite the price range, but there's, like I said, there's many different models. The Fluke 179 costs about $300 and is made of a plastic composite material with two probes that are red and black, one for negative and one for positive for the AC or DC voltages. They consist of a yellow box, typically with a gray insert, and a digital multi-scale that you can read off of that will tell you whatever you are looking for. Like, let's say you're trying to measure 120 volts, and if you put your probe on the negative and the positive of the socket or whatever you're trying to measure, it will say 120 or 116 volts. Once you're done checking your voltage, and let's say you want to go from voltage to resistance, there's a dial on the multimeter that will go from voltage AC/DC to ohms, which is resistance, and then amperage. And then if you want to go to milliamps, you have to turn off your meter by turning the dial all the way down and pulling the red probe out of the voltage section and putting it into the milliamp section. It will be labeled MA. And since they're clearly labeled, it is very easy to follow and very user friendly. I also know what you could possibly be thinking. It's plastic. How is it durable? Well, it's made of a heavy duty plastic. It's pretty thick, but yet it's lightweight at the same time. You can drop them 5 feet, 10 feet, depending how they land, where they land. They're very durable and they can take a good solid hit. But with that being said, you also should always be careful and try to take as much care of it as possible. Not only is it good to protect and keep it safe, but you can't just go breaking them left and right because they are expensive and it can add up fast. You should store it in a cool, dry place, even though they're not really temperature sensitive to like humidity and stuff like that. It's always best when storing it, keeping it in a cool, dry place so humidity does not affect its circuit at all. Also, the air should be stored in a plastic casing that goes around it, or a foam memory protection. That way, in case you do put in like your locker or something, if it were to drop, you have to have some type of cushion to help protect it from the shatter. All multimeters come with their own protective case, or a carrying case, as you could call it. They are small, they're about a couple inches bigger than the meter themselves, and they oftentimes come with multiple probes that you can use like alligator clips in case you have to clip onto wires to make readings easier instead, so you don't have to put your hands in tough to reach places. You can just quick clip on and look at the meter and make your adjustments from there and readings. The most times you will see these meters being used is in any type of industry with machining or any other, even like household stuff, in like the automotive field as well. In the machining field, like me at work, I work in a high-speed CAN facility. We use them to check voltages across all circuits, measuring 480 volts across our 3 phases of voltage, to be sure that each machine has its right voltage, or to check for ground faults. We can use them very, very efficient. Also in the machine world, we can use it to check resistance across wires to tell if a wire is shorted, or we can also, like I said, measure voltage and check amps to see if a machine is drawing too high of current and causing problems. These meters can also be used in the automotive industry for testing circuits on cars, as well as circuits in the machine industry. They're very multifunctional. You can check your car battery amperage to see if your alternator's going out, if your battery's going dead. Also, your typical household electricians use voltages all the time to check voltages across the house to see if they have power being sent to these outlets where they're trying to bring power to. Also, they use the resistance and amps in the same way that we do. We try and check resistance across the circuit to make sure there's continuity. If there's no continuity, then you will not have a connection. These meters make troubleshooting very easy, and they're very helpful. Also, what's very helpful about these meters is that when you do buy them, they also, let's say you bought one and you bring it to the field and you're trying to use it and you're not quite sure on a certain function, they all come with easy instructions, and they all have a helpline that you can call. They can walk you through the meter, how to use it, and what each function means. But they're, like I said, they're very user friendly. Almost anyone can pick one up and relatively understand what's going on with it. And if they don't, then you can just look at the instructions. They're very easy to follow. Thank you for watching. I'm Zach Schiller.